St Helens for the Regal Trophy third round tie. Castleford first out on the pitch there. Lee Crooks just going over to the young lady mascot. Just waiting for the Saints to come out now. The pulsating tie we've got in prospect today. And here come the Saints, being led out by today's matchday mascot, who's Craig Anthony Ashurst. 5 years of age, from Govett Road at Nutgrove. He attends St Austin's Roman Catholic Primary School. His hobbies are watching rugby and football, and I bet he plays a bit of rugby and football as well, and also playing with his brothers Gareth and Nathan. Now Craig's favourite player is Gary Connolly. He's been out there before the match having his picture taken with him. He comes from a good pedigree. Craig's dad, Chris Ashurst, plays for Widnes, but we'll not hold that against him, will we? And his granddad is Jerry Moore, who's the president of the supporters club. So big day for this young fella, Craig Anthony Ashurst. Anyway, the Saints team for this afternoon: David Lyon at fullback, Jared McCracken, Gary Connolly, Paul Loughlin and Les Quirk at the three quarters. Rapati and Cooper at half-back, with Neil, Dwyer and Ward the front three, Nickel, Mann and Joint the back three, O'Donnell and Beavers are the substitutes. With her just centre spot, Saints captain Shane Cooper, Castleford captain Lee Crooks, the two young mascots for today's encounter with referee Steele. Anyway, there's young Craig Anthony Ashurst just making his way down there with the young lady mascot. Perhaps he's cracked it. He's just with the young lady there. They're both waving to the crowd as they go off. The Castleford side is Middleton at full back, St John Ellis, Blackmore, Smith and Ray the three quarters, Coyne and Ford the half backs, with Crooks, Watson and Sampson in the front row, Morrison, Kettridge and Nicow the back three, with Anderson and England. Just ready to get us underway. Colin Steele is the referee from Dalton in Furness, and Castleford kickers get us going. Lee Crooks gets us underway. Paul Loughlin takes it there, and Loughlin straight away breaks through. Good yardage from Loughlin. His first game back after, at St Helens after a lengthy layoff. He did play at Castleford a week last Friday, and Saints getting a first penalty. 20 seconds on the clock, and Kevin Ward being relieved of the ball. And Kevin Ward looking for a big game. Yes, it was a high tackle, and also they snatched the ball out of his hand. And Saints fine touch. Early pressure there now. John Neal off by Bernard Dwyer. Castleford moving up quickly, as you'd expect them to do, but let's hope the Saints can put it together. McCracken comes in, short ball from Dwyer. He's playing on the wing today to accommodate for Paul Loughlin, back in the side. Cooper, George Mann gets it away to Connolly. Good break, Connolly stretching through. Gets it away. Bernard Dwyer couldn't take it because he was in an offside position, but Sonny Nickel goes for it, but the pass adjudged forward, obviously. But Gary Connolly did well. He tried to keep it going. Unfortunately, the pass went forward. First scrum of the match, Castleford feed, and Mike Ford, but he's well wrapped up by Shane Cooper. Ford and Coyne, they did a bit of damage along with Nick Howe a week last Friday at Castleford, the league match. But Kevin Ward there, he's been penalised for pushing the player off in the tackle, not allowing him to get up. And it's Coyne looking to find touch just below us here. About 8 yards short of the halfway line. Watson the hooker to restart. 2 minutes gone of the game. No scoring yet, but the Saints coming close. Dean Sampson there now, breaking through, gets through Dwyer and Nickel, and that's well, he gets through another one as well. Excellent run from Sampson. Not many get past Bernard Dwyer, did they? But now it's Lee Crooks. Well, the ball forced back. Watson tidied it up, but excellent tackling there, and Crooks, he's felt the full force of that tackling. Nicow, forward pass again to Morrison. Nicow again, he was the same the other night at Castleford. He played well, he run hard, but both of the tries came off him. Excellent tackling there by Dwyer and Connolly. Castleford still in possession, Crook still receiving treatment. Castleford down to 12 men. Last tackle of this set, Ford stabs it through. McCracken tidied it up well. He's on the wing, he's used to playing on the wing. I think he played on the wing for New Zealand, the national team. But Paul Loughlin back after a lengthy spell. He came on a sub against Cass a week last Friday. He's got a specially moulded arm guard, as it said in the local press, obviously about Mal Meninga having this breaking his arm 3 times. Second time for Loughlin, and he's had this protective guard made. Saints kick up field after the set of 6. John Ray gathers it, he comes crossfield. The Saints come up and close him down. Chris Joint leading the charge. Castleford trying to scamper away from action half-back. Good kicking from the Saints. This man Sampson, he'll have to be taken down. He seems to be bouncing off well. Ward, he goes in there, he makes sure he doesn't go any further. Ward and Cooper do the job. Castleford in possession. Crooks now, he's back after treatment. He's brought down. Good tackling by the Saints. Now with Ford, chips it through. David Lyon takes it well, but somebody's going to get the yellow card here. For a trip, I think. Well, it's the red card. He must have been tripped. Well, it's rather harsh, that. Ford going through, and referee Steele has given the red card to John Neal, I think, for an alleged trip. I very much dispute that decision, but you wouldn't expect me to do anything else, would you? But it's Kevin Ward, I think, that's got his marching orders. Yes, it's Kevin Ward that's going down. Kevin Ward sent off for only the 2nd time in his career. A very dubious decision. Kevin Ward, one of the hardest and fairest players that wish to meet in rugby. But no way there, that was a sending off offence. But Castleford have got a penalty for it, and Clee Crooks looking to tag the points over. But an uphill battle now for the Saints, especially without powerhouse forward Kevin Ward. We'll look forward to watching that again on the video. As you know, this game is being screened by BBC. That's why we've been just pushed to the end. They have 1,001 cameras up here on the gantry. We're pushed to one end, but we look forward to watching that again on our video and also on the BBC. But referee Steele, he'll not be winning any of your friends here, will he? Saints looking to set the record straight after the league defeat. 16-6 at Castleford. It's Crooks taking his time, tees it up well. It's waved away by the touch judges. But as we know from previous encounters, when the Saints have been men down, that Saints can put it together with the 12 men. We did it against Widnes perhaps nearly 12 months ago. I think it was at New Year's Day. 24 points to 22. The Saints came through that time after George Mann sent off after 4 minutes. Come on, you Saints, is the cry now as the Saints get stuck in. They know they'll have to work that little bit harder. But there'll be nobody, well, obviously as disappointed as Kevin Ward, especially wanted to do well against his own team. Well, Nick Hour forward faster. It must have been a yard forward. And referee Steele didn't pick it up again. Blindside ploy. Forward, moving over. Feed it inside to Morrison. Excellent shoulder charge by George Mann. The last tackle of the sequence for Castleford. Well, the popular side just casting doubts on the referee's sexual prowess, but nothing that we can't handle anyway, is it? Saints coming away with it, but Castleford penalised for holding down in the tackle. And a little bit of respite for the Saints. David Lyon looking for good yardage. Good kick from Lyon, finds touch just short of the halfway line. John Neal, first man in. Referee Steele, he'll have to pick up these forward passes, won't he? 2 forward passes, Nick Howe involved, I think, in both of them, and he's not picked them up. And now it's Sonny Nicol. 8 minutes of the game gone. Saints down to 12 men. Ward sent off after 5 minutes. And certainly an uphill battle. Connolly chips it crossfield. Rapati was there, the lead in the chase. Les Quirk coming up as well, and he never lets us down, Les Quirk, does he? He's always in there. He's won some big matches for the Saints, Quirk, with his tries, his fearless running, and he's not afraid of taking the ball and going in low on whichever position against the opposition. Forward to feed. Well, Cooper's quickly in. It goes to St John Ellis. Ray French and John Money just to the right of us here, and no doubt they'll have their own views about the Ward incident. The Saints faithful get behind them. To be quite honest, there's not a big crowd here. It's a toss-up. There's about 4,000 really. It's a poor crowd for such a good tie. Two top teams, but you know, it's Christmas time, and obviously the Wigan match and the Widnes match coming, and a lot of employment around this area, as many areas, especially around Castleford and St Helens, 2 mining towns, and they're probably just picking the matches. But the ball back to Coyne, and especially with it being televised, David Lyon takes it, drives it up. Ketteridge, one of the tacklers there. Now it's Tia Rapati running from active half onto Lyon. Nick Howe a little high. Castleford will have to line up. They move up quickly. Saints bring it blindside. Chris Joint, powerful forward Joint. Must be one of the finds of the season for the Saints. Played for Oldham, but well, Nick Howe there with a high tackle, and with just a little hint of help from the popular side faithful. But David Lyon will be asked to try and convert it. It was a high tackle. Referees picked it up, and Saints need all the points that they can get, especially with 1 man down. So Lyon is going to be teeing up, but Paul Loughlin out here just to our right, as you can possibly see with that arm guard, heavily padded right arm. I don't know whether it's an imported job from Australia, but I know, as we said before, Mal Meninga's had his arm broken 3 times, and he still came through to lead his country. And Paul's an excellent campaigner, looking to get back into match fitness. So David Lyon looking to open the scoring. Kicked 12 goals before today. About 28 metres out, 20 metres in from the popular side. Well within his capabilities, and it'll give the Saints a boost if he gets it between the sticks. Looks as though it's going to the right. It is. It doesn't go dead, so Castleford are in possession. The Saints come up quickly. Bernard Dwyer following the ball. Saints looking to put pressure on Castleford, and they've got to peg them up there. No doubt Ford and Coyne, they'll have different views on that. They want to get the ball kicked right downfield. But Sampson this time, Saints know that Sampson's played well in the early minutes. Short ball, well, he's actually picked it out this time. The ball going forward. Quick hands by Castleford, and that wasn't half as bad as the ones that we've already had. But he's picked it up. It's a scrum down with the Saints feed. Cooper has the ball onto Rapati. Saints now, another 5 tackles to make it count. Nicol passes it to Paul Loughlin. A long cut-out ball. David Lyon was coming through, hoping to tag on the end of it, but the ball going to Lockers. Now it's with John Neal. He gets it away to Cooper, moves it right, George Mann. Rapati coming through on the short, for the short ball. Now it's with George Mann. 8 yards short of the Castleford line. The Saints bring it left. Cooper, Chris Joint, ball out to Loughlin, out to Lesquer. Can he squeeze in? No. Forced into the hoardings there. Castleford pushing Lesquer in at the corner. He's not picked an injury up. It could have been nasty, that, as Quirk got the ball off Loughlin. Just couldn't go in low enough and forced into touch. Scrum down, similar position. Ford has it now for Castleford. They take the scrum 3-1. No scoring on the board and 13 minutes of the game gone. St. John Ellis from acting half-back. Rapati homes in on him, bounces him to the ground, forces him back 5 yards. Now it's Cass again, it's Ford coming away. Ford and Coyne and Nick out, they'll have to be monitored. Ketteridge, he drives it forward, gains 10-15 metres. He didn't like the tackle, but he'll have to lump it, won't he? Well, obstruction there as Morrison comes through. Nick out there, and the Saints crowd, they cry for the obstruction, it's not given. The sixth tackle of the sequence, and the ball booted downfield. Jared McCracken will take it. Castleford is supposed to give him 10 yards. Well, there was no way that was 10 yards or 10 metres. Jared's parents, Ken and Faye, have jetted in from New Zealand. They're over here for about a month, obviously to watch Jared and the Saints. They're going to take in about 8 matches and hopefully more if Saints come through today as victors. Talking to Ken the other day, he's an ex-New Zealand international, played around the 60s, played against some greats, both English and Australian. But Chris Joint has the ball, takes another 6 tackles, it touched the Castleford player. Running out wide, Sonny Nickel. Cooper on to John Neal, inside to Dwyer, he couldn't take it, but Castleford have it. Dwyer comes and completes the tackle, the man was scampering away. Now it's Ford for Castleford. Holds it up to perfection, Middleton comes through. Runs well from the full-back position, this Simon Middleton. He is a wingman, he's got some pace. Or he has been a wingman. I know St. John Ellis has done a bit at full-back, and he's on the wing. Quite a speedy three-quarter line of Castleford. But they're in the Saints 20, well, they're just outside. They're the Saints 20-metre area. Nick Howe coming through, he couldn't take the ball. Joint gladly accepts it. And now it's Saints captain Shane Cooper bringing the ball up. He leads by example, does Cooper. Excellent competitor. Castleford all offside on the referee's right. But now it's George Mann looking for a quick play of the ball. Bernard Dwyer brings it blindside, he chips it through. St. John Ellis comes back for it. Dwyer completes the tackle. Middleton now breaking through, he'll have to be stopped. George Mann stops him, and Lesquer makes sure he doesn't gain any further yardage. Tony Morrison, excellent tackle by Nickel, man and ball, round the chest, knocks him to the ground. Nearly 17 minutes of the game gone, no score. McCracken and Connolly combine on the far side, and the Saints tackling is held firm. Now with Sampson, he gets the ball away, Watson, but Connolly, he bounces him down, the last tackle of the sequence for Cass. And Saints have stood up well. Now with Coyne, chips it to the corner. Well, it's played on by St. John Ellis. Well, the try's given. Saints a little lax there at that ball coming through by Coyne. There doesn't look any danger. But a bit of lax play there by the Saints, and St. John Ellis was allowed to kick it forward. Looking at it, it's a bit awkward for me to look at it with the cameras up here. I just have to squeeze in the corner. Whether he actually got downward pressure on it, I don't know. But, as they say, it's on the board, and it'll be in the paper tomorrow. But St. John Ellis touches it down for the 4-pointer. But Saints their own worst enemy there, and they have to get their act together. With Lee Crooks looking to convert it. The third time these two teams have met in this competition, even though it's Regal now, but they've met when it was in the Players' Trophy. 76-77 here at Nosey Road in the second round. Saints losing 22 points to 18, and 86-87 away at Castleford. Saints winning by 26 points to 22. So tightly contested ties, both of them. Castleford with a slight edge, 4 points to 0. Lee Crooks looking for the extra points, and remember the Saints are down to 12 men. And Kevin Ward being sensationally sent off in the 5th minute. Well, that looks a good one from Crooks. Yes, excellent goal from Crooks. Gives Castleford a 6-point cushion, 6 points to 0, they're in the lead. Saints through to today's third round tie with victories over Leeds and Featherstone. And Castleford, they've beaten Oldham and Carlisle on the way. So the Saints' path to this third round has been harder. The Saints will have to hit back where it hurts and peg Castleford up there. They've got some speedy backs, and the forwards are not so slow either, are they? But trailing by 6 points to 0. Nick Howe comes through as the dummy runner. Morrison takes the ball, and Rapati completes the tackle. Cass move it up. Ford attacked in half-back. The ball back to Coyne for the kick downfield. David Lyon takes it comfortably this time. Gives it to Les Quirk, who comes in field. But St John Ellis wraps him up. Nick Howe there as well, and Mike Ford. Sonny Nicol. Castleford moving up quickly, and if the referee doesn't take a grip, as the referee's moving up, obviously Castleford are doing it, and you can't expect anything else, can you? Chris Joint gets it away to Cooper. Cooper strides through, looking for support. Lyons with him, gets it away now. Dwyer onto Chris Joint again, onto Loughlin. Les Quirk, but he's forced into touch. Quick hands, there's the order of the day. Loughlin tried to get it away. Les Quirk, not a lot of room to work. And nearly took the BBC cameraman with him. But it's a scrum down, Castleford feed. Ford, couldn't think of his name then. Ford has possession. Middleton attacked in half. But well taken down. Rapati and George Mann, the Kiwi combination. And there's another New Zealander to worry Nick out. Well, an alleged high tackle. There didn't look a lot in that, but the referee moved in quickly, penalised the Saints. 3 penalties each, I make it. Shane Cooper being spoken to there, to worry Nick out. Both 2 Kiwis there, just getting entangled. And the referee not winning a lot of favourites here with the St Helens public. High tackle indicated, as I said, didn't look a lot in it. Well, it's Castleford now on the halfway line from the penalty award. Coops gets it away to Coyne. Joint and Nicol, they wrap him up. Well, it's Sampson, I think, the was that got it away. We beg your pardon. Now with Ketteridge, Neil wraps him up. Cass bring it right. Lee Crooks running out wide. He gets the ball in field. It's loose. The Saints knock it forward. It's going to be a scrum down with a Saints feed. Both sides knocking on. Crooks first, I think, and then the Saints couldn't gain the advantage. So scrum down with the Saints feed, as indicated by the referee. 10 metres inside the Saints half. Cooper to feed. Now with Paul Loughlin coming in field. Cass with the scrum possession by 4-2 now. And Cass moving up quickly, but George Mann, he tries to beat the offside trap. Well, all offside on the referee's right. Bernard Dwyer tries to get it to Lyon, but the knock-on given. Excellent break there by Bernard Dwyer. You can always rely on Bernard to make good yardage. Tried to slip it away, but the ball going forward. It was tidied up by Chris Joint. Put the scrum down, Castleford feed. 23 minutes of the game gone. Cass in the lead by 6 points to 0. Saints down to 12 men. With Kevin Ward, the Saints powerhouse forward, and ex-Castleford stalwart, being sent off sensationally after 5 minutes. Oh, super tackling there as Loughlin comes away with it. Superb tackling, Sonny Nicholl, Bernard Dwyer, and it was Kettridge that lost it, I think. Nicholl now. Needs a big game this afternoon. So, well, they all need a big game, the Saints, don't they? Cooper onto Rapati. Tremendous upper body strength off Rapati. As Cooper leads again, gets it away, it's tidied up by Chris Joint. He moves it over to McCracken's wing. Well, Castleford, they'll have to get back on side. Referee there, he looks to the left and the Castleford lock cabbage. George Mann looking for a gap, gives the dummy, drives through. Loughlin has it. Work inside. Well, he's brought down there by Richie Blackmore. Last tackle for the Saints. On to Loughlin now, but it's not forward. It's going to be a scrum with the Saints feed. St John Ellis went for the interception. Good play by the Saints. They had to run it on the 6th tackle to scrum down with the Saints feed. The Saints public get behind them now, and the Saints win possession, which they should. They've got six tackles to make it count. Cooper there gets the ball, moves it to the right. Got a little bit of fracas at the scrum. Lyon, he can't take it. Connolly tidies it up. The touch judge is in just to the left of us to clean up the scrum, the little fracas. But Saints losing yardage. McCracken now from acting half. Castleford urged back on side. Now with Cooper, short ball to John Neal. He takes it up, he'll take it up all day with John Neal. Saints need a score now. Dwyer inside to Joint, he's lost possession. Crooks has it. Cooper comes in to meet him. Cooper gets it back, yes. Excellent play from the Saints. Joint out to Loughlin. He moves in field. Good play from Saints captain Shane Cooper. Struck at the ball. You are allowed to do that. The ball's on the floor for playing. And Cooper struck at it. Jonathan Neal is a fine exponent to this, but Cooper, he did it well there. Saints putting pressure on. It's Rapati. Gets it away. Saints moving to the left. John Neal now. He's brought down 8 yards short. The Castleford defence is going to be tested now. Cooper out to Joint. He strains it up, drives up centre. Dwyer, Cooper gives the dummy out to Loughlin. Well, he chips it forward. It's hit a Castleford player. 6 tackles again, surely. Well, the referee says no. It's the last tackle. David Lyon lofts the Chester. McCracken's coming in. But Middleton has it. Excellently taken by Middleton. Well, that should have been another 6 for my money. Super tackling again as George Mann homes in. And now it's Nick out, but he's held by Rapati. Well, a forward pass there as Castleford tried to move it out wide. He's only picked one up, this ref, and that I wouldn't have said that was a forward, but he missed 2 blatant ones earlier on. The Saints are forcing Cass back. It's on the 6th tackle now. It's back to Coyne. McCracken will have to be given 10 metres. Well, again, no way that's 10 metres. But Saints running it up. Connolly now inside to McCracken. It's back to Cooper. "13 minutes of the half remaining. Sonny Nicholl powering upfield. Castleford in the lead by 6 points to 0. Good driving from Nickel. And Castleford penalised. Is it for offside? Well, I do believe it is. And not before time, if I might say. But Sonny Nickel, he drove it up there. Playing excellently. Sonny Nickel. Saints are going to have a go for goal. As I said, we need all the points we can get. While David Lyon is teeing up. If I can just give Ben Cooney a mention. It's his birthday on the 22nd of December. He'll be 9 years of age. His favourite player is Gary Connolly and Jared McCracken. So best wishes for your birthday and Merry Christmas to you, Ben Cooney. I know you do play a little bit of rugby yourself, Ben, in the... Well, it used to be the under-9s. I suppose you'll have to go up to the higher grade now, won't you? But best wishes for your birthday and Christmas from Mum, Andrew and Catherine, new baby Catherine, and all on your Saints video team, and I'm sure on behalf of all the Saints players. So happy birthday, Ben. Goes David Lyon from the 20-metre mark, just about 12 metres in, looking for the Saints' first points. Unsuccessful with an earlier attempt. Lyon strikes it. Well, it's through the sticks this time. 29 minutes on the clock. David Lyon with a penalty goal pulls back 2 points from the for the Saints. 6 points to 2. (6-2) the score. 10 minutes. Well, just over 10 minutes of the first half to play. Saints register the first points. They should get possession from this Crooks kick-off. Paul Loughlin, he takes it, drives in. He's played well in this opening half hour as Loughlin, heavily involved with Les Quirk. Well, now it's Tirapati. John Neal runs it hard. Obviously, all the Saints have got to combine with the one man down, but Sonny Nickel, he's run hard this afternoon. Morrison in there, St Helens lad Morrison, just doing a bit of mauling and being penalised for it to boot. Saints with a few players out injured. Obviously, Tony Sullivan injured playing for Wales against France. There's John Griffiths out with an injury. Mike Riley, John Harrison. We've also Sean Casey, Paul Forber and Paul Groves. They're obviously not in the first team squad this afternoon. And as all these players get fit, certainly a pleasant headache for Saints coach Mike McLennan. A pleasant selection headache, but a lot of players coming back just at the right time. Chris Joint can't take it. Sonny Nickel tidies it up. Neckar moved in quickly. Saints losing a bit of yardage. Bernard Dwyer attacked in half. Moves it left. It's Chris Joint again. Running hard, Joint. Flicks it back to Dwyer. Quick hands by the Saints. Cooper beats one. Looking for the pass to, Rapati coming through as the foil. But Loughlin has it. Loughlin gets the ball away. Dwyer and Saints throwing it out of it. Last tackle of this sequence. Will the ball come for a drop? Les Quirk on a roving commission, but David Lyon puts it up high. Takes it and throws it out again to Chris Joint. Oh, he just couldn't take it. Well, the changeover is going to be ruled as Joint and Lyon moving through there. Middleton took a bit of a knock as he went down bravely on the ball. But George Mann gets hold of St John Ellis by the scruff of the neck and bounces him to the ground. Now it's with Crooks. No place for the faint heart out there this afternoon. The Saints tackling has held up firm. Just that one blemish on the Saints there when an innocuous kick through by Coyne was capitalised on by Castleford. But they move it quickly over to the left. Now with Ford, inside ball to Morrison. Half stops, but he drives it through. What a superb tackle. Nickel in again. And it's the last tackle of this set. Forward, Coyne. Coyne chips it. Kind bounce for David Lyon, but he's taken in the in-goal area, is he? No, he just manages to get over the line. Good play from David Lyon with two Castleford players hanging on to him. Lesquirk brings it away blindside. Good yardage there from Lesquirk. Never lets the Saints down. Now it's with Sonny Nickel. Short ball to John Neal. Inside to Chris Joint. Into space, Joint. Good side step. Gets past one. Can't get past Blackmore. Judgman. Tirapati. Good ball to Connolly. Well, that certainly looked a little high, but he got out of it well. Well, the penalty's going to be, yes, somebody's going to be spoken to, and David Lyon saying, well, why can't he be sent off for that tackle? It's Crooks, and he should know better. It looked a very bad tackle on Connolly. Well, Crooks going in there. Been spoken to by the referee. Saints have been awarded a penalty. An excellent touch finder there. Well, I thought it just squoze him, but obviously not. Castleford come away with the ball. Oh, superb tackle. Followed up by Lyon. Crunched him, man and ball. Now George Mann moves in. The Saints now, they've got the bit between the teeth. Sloppy ball to Catteridge. Come on, you Saints, is the cry from the popular side faithful. Just below us here on the podium. Now it's with Nick Howe. 6 points to 2 the score. 6 minutes before the interval. Last tackle of this sequence. Coyne again, but he plays it this time to Ford. Well, obstruction there. St. John Ellis coming through. It was a clear obstruction, and he's given it offside here, but the ball should have been brought back here to the halfway line, where St. John Ellis have come through and obstructed. The penalty award is correct, but for me the position is incorrect. Lyon, he finds touch this time. A couple of metres in the Castleford half. John Neal leading the charge, and 6 points wouldn't go amiss now, would it? Just before the interval. Cooper, Mann, back to Cooper. The ball turned back to Rapati. Now it's with Paul Loughlin. He drives it up. Bernard Dwyer, blindside. Oh, good break forward, just held by the ankles. Crooks had him. Rapati now, let's see him weave his magic. Shrugs one tackle off, still driving in the 20-metre area. Lyon gets it away to Bernard Dwyer. Inside to Loughlin, steps out to one. Gives the dummy, but Sampson and Morrison are there. Castleford moving up quickly. It's now with Cooper, John Neal. He holds on to it. I think the drop goal will come here now to give the Saints. Oh no, they're running it. It's chipped through there by Joint. Castleford have it. Good play by the Saints. I didn't know whether they might have opted to turn it in field and go for the drop goal. But solid tackling. They hold the Castleford man up. Try to force him behind his own try line. Castleford on the break. Blackmore it is. Feeds it inside. St. John Ellis. The pass looked forward again. Yet again. But a good break from Castleford after being pegged on their own line. Coyne, Nick Howe. Cooper comes in with a shoulder charge, but Nick Howe still drives it forward. Loughlin, he's in there with John Neal. It's kicked through. It's going to be another 6 tackles for Castleford. As Ford has it, short ball to Blackmore. Feeds it inside. Sampson, can he be forced into touch? No, not this time. Ford now. Castleford, rare excursion in the Saints 20-metre area. And it is a rare excursion, only about the second or third time they've been in. Saints will have to weather the storm, trailing by 6 points to 2. but with Cass moving upfield about 90 yards there. Coyne, short ball to Morrison. Must be about the 4th tackle that. Newcastle look to spread it. They'll obviously want points before the interval. Well, Coyne, he gets it away. St. John Ellis is midfield. He chips it through. It's too deep. Too deep kick from St. John Ellis. The idea was right, but as far as he's concerned, he got the wrong result. A drop out from the centre of the 20-metre line. George Mann, valuable yardage. Let's see if the Saints can move it up. Jared McCracken, limited touches, burst through the first line of defence, but well taken down. Excellent performance by the Saints. Rapati gets it underway. John Neal picks it up, moves it over to the right. Oh, McCracken just couldn't take it. Castleford have possession. Tried to keep it going there, the Saints. Crooks now for Castleford. 2 minutes before the interval. Cass in the lead by 6 points to 2. Ketteridge. Big forward. Had a lone spell. I think Sheffield Eagles, took him. But back in the fold at Castleford. Nick Howe. Good ball there to Tony Smith. Saints line up there. Ford takes it along. Coyne. Blackmore coming in, but Coyne turns it back to Morrison. Good tackling by the Saints. The last of this sequence now. Let's see if Cass run it. Well, Ford, you've got to close him down. Castleford throw it anywhere. It's with Coyne. He puts a tester up. Pressure ball for Lyon. But takes it well and breaks away. Oh, good break from David Lyon. Up to the 20-metre line. Let's work now. That looks well. It certainly looked a little high. The referee said it was round the chest. Well, let's see if the Saints can finish this first half with a flourish. Cooper taken down, in possession. No disgrace in this first half performance for the Saints. They've tried hard, especially against all the odds, with one man down. But Cooper, good ball to Loughlin. Looks to create the gap. He breaks through. He gets it away to Quirk. Nicholas, oh, Quirk's going. Yes, Les Quirk's in. Superb try from the Saints, and they level the scores up. The Saints hit back in good style in the 39th minute. As Les Quirk goes in, 10 metres in from the corner flag, and a superb try. But he had to finish it, Les Quirk. He waltzed past Middleton as if he wasn't there. Superb sidestep, but it was Loughlin that put him on his way. Superb performance by Paul Loughlin. International Test 3/4, and he fended off the tacklers and put Les Quirk through the gap. He had to beat Middleton. He waltzed past him, and it levels the scores up. That's a great time to score that, as far as the Saints are concerned, especially down to 12 men. 6 points apiece now, and this David Lyon conversion to come. So David Lyon now, no goal kick more important than this. This will give the Saints a 2-point cushion if he can convert it. Les Quirk going in there for his 5th of the season, and no more important than that try. Engineered just in the Castleford half, and Loughlin doing well there. So David Lyon, 21 metres out, or 22 metres out, 10 metres in from the touchline here, and looking to slot this between them. Oh, look at that! A superb goal by Lyon, right between the uprights, and it's a toss-up whether we haven't. I was going to say it's a toss-up whether we have time to start before the half-time hooter, but what a time to score there. And that's an excellent try by Les Quirk, converted by David Lyon. It puts the Saints in the lead for the first time in this match by 8 points to 6, as both sides troop off for a well-earned rest. Well, the Saints are already off. Castleford now just making the way down. Sinjanelli's try, which was very dubious after some shabby Saints defence. Goal by Crooks, Cass in the lead by 6 points to 0. Then a 29th minute Lion penalty. And then that Quirk try in the dying seconds of the first half, converted by Lion. Here at Nosey Road, half-time in the Regal Trophy, third round tie. Saints 8, Castleford 6. Well, back with you now for the second half of this pulsating third round tie in the Regal Trophy competition, with the Saints just going into the lead, a well-earned lead, I may add, by 8 points to 6. Just before the interval, a superb Les Quirk try, and Paul Loughlin certainly doing his bit. There's no danger about that, but Loughlin back his first full match after a lengthy layoff, after being on tour last summer. But excellent wing play. Loughlin and Quirk, they combine well. They have done in the past, and they're certainly doing the stuff this afternoon, aren't they? Castleford back on the pitch, as far as I can make out. No substitutions. And here come the Saints. First out are the two centres, Loughlin and Connolly, closely followed by the other gladiators. Come on, you Saints, is the cry. And the Saints finishing off with a flourish there at the end of the first half, and look forward to putting it together for the second half. And as I keep repeating, as we all know, Saints down to 12 men. Kevin Ward sent off for an alleged trip. As the Castleford man was coming through, Ward just put his hands up because not to cause an obstruction as he went through, and in my own unbiased opinion, he fell over Ward's leg, but referee Steele didn't see it that way, and he was sensationally sent off the field. The old red card was brought out as he got sent off at Tulkea for an alleged incident. I don't know whether that was on Sodji that time, and it was disproved, and I personally think that this will be disproved again. Certainly hope so anyway. Right from the start, this joint there being picked out. We've only had, what, 15 seconds on the clock, and the referee's back in it again. Castleford with the touch finder, 10 metres inside the Saints half. Well, Sampson again, looking to squeeze through. He's played well, he's driven well. Saints forced to defend, and their coach, Donald van der Velde, will have read the riot act to Cass at half-time. No doubt Mike McLennan will. He'll have been pleased that Saints just squaws in at the dying seconds. But Sampson again, he's run hard and straight. Well, they have got a substitute on Castleford there. We've got number 14 on at the interval. Nicow on the far side, giving the dummy. He turned it in field. That certainly looked a forward pass again, the last pass. But Castleford, after just over a minute of the second half, they've got a try on the board. Tony Smith has gone in for the try. A body blow to the Saints there. Tony Smith going in for the try. Castleford moved it over quick. Nicow getting the ball away, but I'd like to see that again on the video. It certainly looked again with Nicow, the last pass going forward. I think it could be maybe Richie Blackmore that's gone off at half-time. But 14 is on. No substitutes for the Saints. And Lee Crooks looking to tag the extras. Castleford just squeezing back into the lead by 10 points to 8. And this Crooks conversion to come. It struck well, it hit hard in the opening minutes. And the Saints will have to get back in the swing. and get back in the action. It's Crooks now, just outside the 20-metre area, about 15 metres in from the main stand here at Naughty Road. Crooks strikes it well, but it's waved away. 10 points to 8, anybody's game. Both of these sides only been in the Regal final on one occasion. Saints beating Leeds in 87-88 at Wigan, 15-14, and in 1966 and 1976, I beg your pardon, 77, Castleford beat Blackpool at Salford by 25 points to 15. Probably Blackpool's only claim to fame there. But looking for a place in the semi-final draw. And from this season, home advantage. First out of the hat gains home advantage. Whereas the ties have been played on a neutral ground for quite a few seasons now. But due to the time of the year when the fixtures are, the semi-finals, and added policing and getting a neutral ground, they've decided to play on the home ground, the first out of the hat. 10 points to 8 to score in Castleford's favour, nothing in it yet. Lee Crooks bringing the ball up. Joint there and Neil bouncing to earth. Strong running from Castleford. They move it over to the right, Coyne to nick out. Looking to create havoc again. Oh, Blackmore, he's over there. I didn't know whether he had been replaced. But the ball lost. Well, the Saints penalised there. Excellent tackling by John Neal and George Mann. But they've been accused of reaping the ball out of the Castleford players' hands. It's going to be a penalty, and Castleford are going to take the opportunity of the 2 points, aren't they? A little bit of unrest below us, and I think it's Tony Morrison that's actually gone off. Just looking for the skull cap, I can't see it, but anyway, it's Crooks now, looking to tag the 2 points on. Similar, well, just a bit more infield than the last attempted conversion. Cass are in the lead by 10 points to 8. And they're getting all the rub of the green off the man in the middle as well, aren't they? It's Crooks now composing himself. I just hope he's as successful with this one as he was with the last. But he comes up, gets it to boot. It's between the uprights, and Castleford open a 4-point gap. 12-8 to score. 5 minutes gone in the second half. And Tirapati kicks it straight and low. Well, Bernard Dwyer in at the tackling there. Shane Cooper comes to help him, but it's the substitute, Grant Anderson, trying to scamper away from the tackle. Saints will have to get in there in 2s and 3s. Obviously that bit harder with the one man down. Everybody's got to work that much harder. It's Crooks. He's taken down there. George Mann and John Neal. Ford to nick out. They can't afford to let this New Zealand loose forward run. They had a good game at Weldon Road a week last Friday. The ball now with Peter Coyne, the kick up field. David Lyon, well, 10 metres again, not given there. No way that Lyon's been given 10 metres with the ball kicked through, but referee Steele. These fellas in the middle are supposed to be impartial, something like myself, but we're not seeing that display today from referee Steele. Saints just trailing by 4 points. Bringing the ball blindside, John Neal. Just tackle below us, 10 metres short of the halfway line. Rapati, we're looking for a little bit of brilliance from this fella. He breaks through 2 tackles. Looking to spread it out, but he's finally pulled down. Shane Cooper. Well, Castleford penalised for offside and not before time. Referee Steele giving the Saints a penalty there. 8 minutes gone of the second half. The Saints gaining yardage. John Neal bringing the ball up just short of the 20-metre line. Saints looking for a big set of 6 here. George Mann powers his way down, releases it. Chris Joint back to Gary Connolly. Castleford tackling's firm, but Connolly gets it away to Dwyer. Good running from Dwyer. Good handling from the Saints. Nicola attacked it half. Cooper along the line. Rapati out to Loughlin. Takes it well, drives in. Cooper, Joint crossfield. Scything through the Castleford defence is Joint. Excellent running by the Saints. Nickel again, Saints moving left. Connolly gives the dummy, drives it over. Has to take the tackle. Last tackle of the set. Rapati now, chips it through. It's going to be dead, is it? It is going to go dead. Just a little too much from the boot of Rapati. Castleford will restart from the centre of the 20-metre line. They're leading by 12 points to 8. And with half an hour of the game to go. A place in the semi-final for the victor. Superb tackle there as John Ray come through at a fair rate of knots. Sampson. Saints will have to come in and make sure he's tackled. Sonny Nickel comes in as the second man. Rapati had him held, but Sampson's progress, he was still making yardage. Well, a short ball from Ford to Crooks, looked forward again. Again, at the risk of sounding repetitious, the Castleford are getting away with these forward passes like nobody's business. Last tackle of the set. Ford chips it through. He's not going to find touch. David Lyon has to take it. Gets past Ford, but he's tidied up there by Tony Smith. Well, a lot of mauling at the play of the ball. Well, Castleford moving up in offside position, but McCracken gains good yardage. Well, that's a penalty, that. And McCracken wanted to get up. Oh, it's Morrison there, minus the headgear. Puts him to ground. Saints awarded the penalty. And Morrison going to be spoken to, is it? No, Lee Crooks. He's the captain, whether he's said something out of turn. Nick Howe is going to be spoken to. He's been brought over. Well, it's just like the Pearls, isn't it here? Perth any 8 from 10. See who he's going to pull out next. So Nick Howe and Rapati are going to be spoken to, are they? No, Cooper. Well, there you are. It's anybody's guess, isn't it? Chris Joint. He's coming forward. Cooper's there. The touch judges and the referee are supposed to work in harmony, but it's anybody's guess what's going on there or whatever that was for. Saints have the penalty meanwhile. The score is 12 points to 8 in Castleford's favour, and we've had 11.5 minutes of the second half gone. David Lyon finds touch, 10 metres short of the halfway. Dwyer and Neal get us underway quick. Solid 3-man Castleford defence. Saints move it out wide. Rapati, George Mann powering through. And remember, George Mann scored his first try here for the Saints against Castleford a few seasons ago. An excellent diagonal 35-yard run. Let's hope we can put it together this afternoon. Rapati, Connolly sees the half gap. Well, it's all on. It's a knock on, that. Either a knock on or offside. It's off Castleford. It's a scrum down with the Saints feed. Connolly tried to keep it going. Castleford knocked it forward. The referee points to the Saints side. That is correct. And the scrum down to be formed just outside the 20-metre area. Saints have it. Rapati, McCracken. Coming through on the diagonal. He runs hard, McCracken, but the tackling is held firm. And Castleford tackle superb at Weldon Road a week last Friday. They're not doing a bad job here this afternoon. Well, let's hope the Saints can pull this deficit back. Blindside again. John Neal running out wide. Bernard Dwyer moves in again. Castleford urged to get back on side, but they move off the mark. Rapati, George Mann, Connolly. Excellent tackling again, it must be said. And this is what wins games, the defence. George Mann flicks it to Nickel. It's all on. Flicked off Nickel's legs, and he's still driving forward, is Nickel. The power in this fella. Last tackle of this sequence. Shane Cooper out wide. Out to Rapati. Oh, he overruns it there, and the ball going into touch. It was on the sixth tackle, so that'll be the changeover. The Saints moved it out wide, hoping to catch Castleford on the hop, but the ball going behind Les Quirk and into touch. I think that's Anderson in possession. Getting quite dark outside. It's been a bitterly cold day. Heavy frost overnight and brightened up a bit, but went really dull just before the match. And obviously as the Knights draw in, 14 minutes gone on the second half, 12-8 to score. And Ketteridge, good ball inside there to forward. Cooper comes in on him, closes him down, and Lyon makes sure the tackle is completed. Les Quirk comes in as well. Coyne, little chip through, no problem. David Lyon well positioned. But Castleford penalised for offside, have it? No, somebody's, well, it's Shane Cooper is going to be spoken to by the referee. But I don't know what this fella in the middle is playing at all. It's a penalty to Castleford. Castleford had chipped it through. Shane Cooper there. Obviously he's questioning the decision. Well, an obstruction there. He's judging that a Saints player has gone in and took a Castleford player out as the kick was chipped forward. So Castleford awarded the penalty, and a chance for Lee Crooks again. As we know, Saints were penalised heavily against Cass in the league a week of Friday. They lost 16 points to 6, just that late David Lyon try, putting Saints with the 6 points after an opening Lyon penalty. They opened the score that day, so David Lyon opened it and finished it. And a chance for Crooks again. 12-8 to score. If he's successful, this will make it obviously 14-8. So a converted try plus another score for the Saints to get in the lead. Just over 15 minutes gone. A rather sparse crowd, but a lot of Saints support from below us. Crooks again, strikes it, waved away, the ball goes dead, so Castleford will regain possession from the kick-off. Castleford to drop it out. Saints to drop it out, I beg your pardon, to Castleford from the centre of the 20-metre line. Tirapati kicks it out. Castleford driving up, excellent tackling there, Bernard Dwyer and Chris Joint. Sampson it is, he's had an excellent game, Sampson. He's looking to release the ball again. Watson, I think that is the hooker. He didn't like the tackle there, but what do you expect as Castleford move it out wide? Nick Howe running out wide, gets the ball away again. Certainly a borderline pass with Nick Howe. I mean, Castleford have been allowed to get away with it all the match. They're spreading it well, but some of the passes leave a lot to be desired. Solid tackling midfield. Joint and Neal. Chipped through there by Blackmore. The ball going to run dead, is it? David Lyon, no, he has to play it. Well, he's held in the in-goal area. An awkward ball, well flighted as far as Castleford are concerned. But the referee ruling that he was held in the in-goal area, and Saints forced to drop out from between the sticks. Castleford putting the Saints under a lot of pressure. Short ball from the Saints, trying to catch Castleford cold, but their player was well positioned and Connolly wraps him up. Sampson. Good drive by Castleford now. They're looking to use their set of 6 to penetrate the Saints line. Moving the ball out wide. It's have to turn it back inside. Nick Howe again, early in the play. Castleford just overrunning it as Ray. Certainly a hint of obstruction. But it's Nick Howe at dummy half. Back to Nick Howe from forward. He loses possession. George Mann tidies it up. George Mann buries it, gets it out to Cooper. Les Quirk moving infield. But excellent tackling there. Bernard Dwyer scampering away. Tira Patty was with him. David Lyon coming through on the burst. Now Les Quirk from acting half. Up to the halfway line. Castleford urged to get back on side, but all in front of the referee on his left, and he does nothing about it. George Mann, good ball to Rapati. Lyon looming up again, but the Saints are putting it together now. Johnny Nickel still driving forward inside the Castleford 20-metre area on the last tackle. Rapati out to Loughlin. Long ball to Connolly, inside to McCracken, he couldn't take it. Ray tidies it up. On the 6th tackle, Saints trying to turn it in field, McCracken just couldn't take it. Castleford have possession. Come on you Saints is the cry again with 20 minutes of the second half gone. So 20 minutes for the Saints to rescue this game, trailing by 4 points, 12 points to 8. Trying to contain Castleford in their own half of the ground. Crooks there trying to spread it. The last tackle of this set. The ball grubbered into touch. Scrum down with a Saints feed. About 8 metres inside the Saints half. Bitterly cold day here at Nosey Road, and as we've said before, a place in the semi-final for the victor. Saints win their second scrum of the second half. I think there's only been the 2 scrums in this second half, but Saints player taking an injury, taking a knock there, looks like David Lyon. Well, he couldn't get up to play the ball there, Lyon. He's in a lot of discomfort. But Phil Beavers, he's on the bench with Gus O'Donnell, and Beavers can just slot in at the full-back position if needed. Dwyer out to George Mann, runs it wide, onto Jared McCracken. Nick Howe coming in with a high tackle again, but going unpenalised. But good yardage there from McCracken. Saints move it infield, Cooper again leading. Big gap for Cooper, just taken down there. Superb tackle by Ray. Connolly leading the charge. In the Castleford 20-metre area again. Is that the last tackle? It is. That was a quick set of 6. And Saints peg Castleford there again in their own 20-metre area, and they've got to hold them there. Gus O'Donnell, he's stripping off. Perhaps he'll be... yes, he looks as though he's going to be brought on for David Lyon as a precautionary measure. With Lyon taking a knock in that tackle. Was in a lot of discomfort. No, he's being brought on, Gus O'Donnell, for John Neal. Number 8 is being held up. For George Mowell, Castleford come through. They lose the ball with the ferocity of the tackle, and Connolly tidies up. Now it's George Mann. I think George Mann will be moving into the front row. Rapate, oh, just unlucky there. Dwyer looming up. Will Castleford complete the tackling? Now it's with Chris Joint. Diagonal burst and Joint still going. Saints looking for the points now. Cooper. George Mann out wide. He straightens up. Looking for support. He's 5 metres short. Cooper. Yes, is he touched down? Oh, he's just short there on the last tackle. Dwyer, well, it's knocked it forward. It's on the 6th tackle, so the changeover is going to be effected. Castleford will have possession. The Saints looking to bring on Gus O'Donnell as a replacement for John Neal. Superb tackling again as Gary Connolly moves in. Saints here, they must have 2 of the best centres in the English Rugby League there, with Gary Connolly and Paul Loughlin. Well, Castleford have possession. They're making their way towards the halfway line. St John Ellis comes through, bounces off 2 defenders, but Connolly brings him down. Sonny Nicholl, excellent tackling there, forced Castleford back. Sampson has it, Nicholl's in again. Short ball there as Castleford bring it blind. Tony Smith taken down there, Cabbages a couple of yards, but it's now with forward. It's on the last tackle of this set, and a loose ball there. The Cast keep it moving. Nicholl has it. He grubbers it for touch. It does find touch. So Castleford getting themselves out of jail though, and Saints pressed up on them, couldn't hold them down. And Nicholl managing to get the ball away. Gus O'Donnell now coming on to replace John Neal. Tireless display from John Neal. Tireless display from all the Saints players. Down to 12 men after 5 minutes. 15 minutes of the game remaining, and the Saints trailing by 12 points to 8. They have possession. They release it quickly. It's now with Loughlin in the centre. Quick play, Gus O'Donnell scampering, first touch, and he's underway, gains valuable yardage. Fresh man, and we know what O'Donnell can do. Cooper, George Mann running out wide. Nicholl in along with Tony Smith and Sampson. Joint brought down 8 metres inside the Castleford half. Sonny Nicholl coming at pace, and the Saints forwards have got to run onto these balls. Rapate, Cooper chips it forward. Connolly, yeah, obstructed there. Connolly in his efforts to gather the ball. Tony Smith obstructed him, but superb tackling. Connolly right in there, followed the ball up. Scrum down with the Saints screen. Castleford play being forced into touch. Superb tackling by Connolly. McCracken there and Cooper in attendance. An ideal chance now for the Saints. Well, Castleford move up offside. Cooper and Rapate. Good play. Quick hands. Let's work. Let's see what he can do. Can't break through the tackle. Saints trying to bury the play, obviously. Rapate now. Gets it away. Saints putting the pressure on. Loughlin knocks it back. Castleford have possession. A sloppy play the ball there by the Saints, and they've paid the penalty. Castleford have the ball just when the Saints were building up and putting pressure on Castleford. They make an error, and Castleford capitalise on it. 12-8 the score. Cass in possession, Cass in the lead. Lee Crooks, Gus O'Donnell. Lee Crooks a big man there and he doesn't like it. And Gus O'Donnell, heart as big as a lion, not a big man in stature, but he certainly can put the tackles in. The ball trickles into touch on the far side. Scrum down just inside the 10 metre area, 10 metres from the Saints line. Be scrum down with the Saints feed. Saints taking the scrums 5-0 in this second half, if this one's successful, which it is. Good packing by the Saints forwards. Seeing they're a man down. Cooper, Rapati, Loughlin. Looking for the half gap. And there's not many gaps appeared in this Castleford defence. But Connolly there. Superb break by Connolly. Taken down on the far side. Nickel from acting half. Castleford moving in quickly. Well, they all walk off the mark there as referee tries to line Cass out. Bernard Dwyer slips it up to Cooper. Onto Joint. Connolly's out wide. But St John Ellis, I think it was, that's just coming in there. Now it's Tirapati. George Mann chips it through. Well, Castleford nearly making a hash of it again, but McCracken comes in. Solid tackling, Mann and McCracken. Well, Morrison trying to scamper through. Gus O'Donnell, Bernard Dwyer, Jared McCracken in at the tackle. Ketteridge now for Cass. Watson attacked in half-back. Excellent game this afternoon for this third round tie. Obviously the tie of the round as it's on the BBC. But St John Ellis has it. Well tackled there. The Castleford still have possession. It's the sixth tackle of this sequence. They broke through well. It's on the sixth tackle. Ford gets it away like hot potato. The ball out on the far side. It slipped out. Saints defence holds firm. It's the sixth tackle. It's going to be the turnover. Only a couple of metres short of the Saints line. Saints bring it in field. Shane Cooper leading the charge. Gus O'Donnell at dummy half. Now with George Mann, on to Gary Conley. Conley gets that half gap. The gap opened up and then it was quickly closed down. But just one bit of brilliance from the Saints here and seal this match. 12-8 to score. And we're in the last 10 minutes. Tirapati, he's brought down. Castleford have tackled well. Cooper, last tackle of the set. Dwyer to Lyon. Does Castleford move up quickly? Should have been penalised more often for offside, but they haven't. Ray takes it comfortably, goes cross-field. As Quirk comes in, homes in on him and bounces him. Now it's Crooks. He straightens up. The much-travelled Crooks. Hull leads Castleford. Had a few personal problems, but sorted himself out now. Captain of the Castleford side. Coyne. Inside ball, Morrison, I think that is, running strong. Looking for support, but excellent 35-yard break from Morrison. Ford tries to chip it, McCracken takes it well. Well, a little high, the tackle there, and the referee saying that McCracken's obviously taken it in his in-goal area on the full from Castleford, but no penalty awarded. Saints couldn't take it there, George Mann. And Saints losing possession, I think, on the second tackle there. So from an attacking position, even though in their own half, Saints forced to defend, with Castleford trying to put the pressure on. And if Castleford score again here, well, I'm afraid Saints' progress in the Regal this season will be halted. Watson attacked in half. Forward. Castleford move it along the line. Coyne, Nickow, running out wide. The tackling will have to be firm. Blackmore bringing it crossfield, pushes off the tacklers. But he's allowed to get it away. Watson. Saints will have to make sure it's clamped, man and ball. Can't afford Castleford spreading this ball out. Anderson linking up. Nickow again. Well, he's put it to ground on the far side. St John Ellis. Must have been on the sixth tackle. The change over again and back to square one. Saints started from there on a turnover just a few minutes ago. 7 minutes before the final hooter. We can leave it till a minute before the final hooter, can't we? If we get a Les Quirk special again, as long as we get it converted. But oh, Saints again, their own worst enemy. Unfortunately, Tia Patty couldn't take it. Ketteridge now running on a diagonal path to the corner. But Saints losing possession, surrendering possession in their own 20-metre area. John Ray shoulder charged. Ford attacked in half. I would imagine Castleford, they'll be looking for a drop goal if they can. Certainly it'll give them that, well, another 1 point cushion. If they can sustain these the set of six. Coyne has it, looking for runners. Grant Anderson's there, big gap emerged. But Saints hold him out. The ball back to Coyne. Back flip there to Ford. He's held down, sixth and final tackle. Let's see what Cass do. Coyne has it. Crossfield grubber, but Nickel makes sure, boots it dead. Castleford putting the pressure on. 12-8 to score, 6 minutes to the final hooter. Well, they must have brought a few spectators with them. Castleford, I can hear them chirping now with just 6 minutes to go. St John Ellis has the ball. He's forced into touch. The man's progress. He was still moving. An excellent tackling by the Saints, force him into touch. Scrum half, scrum down with a Saints feed. 15 metres from the Saints line. Saints have possession. Rapati now takes the tackle. Saints with 6-0 in the scrum possession in the second half, but with a man down, and the tight Castleford defence has done its job. But let's hope the Saints can put it together with a final flourish. Sonny Nickel now. Superb game. As I said, the tie of the round. Gus O'Donnell. Well, he's lost the ball. Castleford have it. The Saints again surrendering possession in their own half when trying to build up an attack. Ketteridge there, bounce down. Ford attacked in half. He moves across onto Crooks. Ford trying to drag the St Helens defence with him and then slipping it back to Lee Crooks. Saints have covered well and everyone has played the part this afternoon. By no means disgraced, especially after that very controversial sending off of Kevin Ward in the 5th minute. Last tackle of this sequence. David Lyon covers it well, but the ball has run dead and Saints will restart with a tap from the centre of the 20-metre line. Bernard Dwyer now with George Mann. Saints again looking to complete a set of 6 as Cooper brings it away. Now with Chris Joint. Good ball to Dwyer. Dwyer looking for the gap. Solid tackling. 3 minutes before the final hooter. Cooper and O'Donnell now with Nickel. Saints approaching the halfway line. 3 tackles of this set have gone now. Blindside ploy. Gus O'Donnell. Well, he tries to chip it. Didn't come off. Castleford have possession again. So obviously Saints trying to vary the play. Well, Sonny Nickel obstructed there, and the referee waves the tackle count clean. Ford siding through. And Dwyer brings him down. Only a full length of the field effort is going to save the Saints now, and that's got to be converted. Good break, excellent dummy from Castleford there, but Chris Joint brings the man down. Nick Howe attacked in half. On to Crooks. He's brought down 5 metres short. 2 minutes before the interval. Before the full-time hooter, I should say, beg your pardon. As Kettridge moves forward, he's held up just short. Watson attacked in half. Castleford bringing it blindside. Saints have possession. Connolly tidies it up. Ford tried to grub her through. David Lyon breaks through. Now Rapati. Out to Lachlan. Good tackling on the far side by Castleford as they move in quickly. But Saints have got to make sure they spread it. Try and break through this tight defence. Bernard Dwyer strains it up. Just brought down short of the halfway line. The Saints crowd get behind them. The Saints move it blindside. Chris Joint feeds it inside. Well, I thought he'd fed it inside there. Obviously the quickness of the hand deceives the eye. Gus O'Donnell. Rapati out to George Mann. Good ball to Connolly. The Kraken takes it. He did well, but John Ray completes the tackle. Gus O'Donnell locks it high. Cooper's leading the charge. Oh, but excellently taken there by substitute Grant Anderson. Saints will have to press on Castleford, hope to force an error. St John Ellis, I think that is, coming through from the right wing into centre field. 40 minutes on my watch. The only stoppage time being played. Saints trailing 12 points to 8. I know what it could have been, especially with that St John Ellis try. Well, there's the full-time hooter. Disappointing for the Saints today. They go down, they go out of the Regal Trophy by 12 points to 8. But, as I can say, the 17th minute of the first half, that St John Ellis try, some slack play from the Saints, and unfortunately St John Ellis went in, chipped it forward, Crooks converted it, 6 points to 0. They was in the lead there, and Saints it back, leading at half-time by 8 points to 6. But in the second half, a Smith try in the first minute and then a Crooks penalty goal in the 5th minute was all the scoring of the second half. Castleford go through to the semi-final draw by 12 points to 8, and Saints with a controversial sending off decision on Kevin Ward in the 5th minute. But anyway, thanks once again for joining us. You've been with your Saints video team. Saints going out of the Regal Trophy 12 points to 8, but not disgraced. Disappointed but not disgraced. And now we've just got to build up and get together for a week on Sunday, a week tomorrow, for the Mammoth clash with our old friends, the Pie Eaters from Central Park. So thanks for joining us. See you a week on Sunday against Wigan, as the Saints, unfortunately, losing out to Castleford by 12 points to 8 in the Regal Trophy 3rd round tie.